Good evening. I saved this one in the clutch, honey, so you can laugh. So, I went to Memphis for 4 days, and the reason I went it was primarily because one of my relatives were having a birthday party. Okay, so before the party, we had a special service for their birthday on Sunday. So here I am doing what I always do. I'm sitting on the front row. I have my little lap cloth on, child, and my aunt and stuff on the front pew and all this, that, and the third. And of course, they had a guest pastor come in and speak for their birthday. Now, I noticed while I was sitting there that every time this pastor looked at me, he, he started stuttering. He started stuttering. Now, at first, I didn't think nothing about it. I was like, oh, he might be a little nervous or whatever, you know? And then I started noticing like people having to bring him up water. Then someone decided to come up there and bring him like a little washcloth because he started sweating profusely. And then I realized that every time this man look at me, he starts stuttering. So I didn't say, I came up with something to do to help. I just started looking down, okay, just acting like I'm reading the scripture. You know? And then I got my notebook and then I just started writing, okay, just making my little notes and saying, just participating in service. So service ends. And now we're going to the banquet hall, right? So we have all of these people, go to the banquet hall. It's beautiful. It's set up. Now, my relative they had set up this head table, right? And so at the head table, of course, they're sitting there, my aunt's there, my cousins and everything. But um, what they did was the guest pastor was also sitting at the head table. Now, this is the order of the seating, right? You have my relative and you have my aunt sitting across from him. And next to my uncle, you have the guest pastor. And guess what? They wanted me to sit across from him, right? So, me being me, I decided to prolong and take my time going to that darn head table because the man was already stuttering and fumbling over his words or whatever. So I'm going around, I'm making my around. Hey, how you doing? Come here, give me some sugar and let me hold the baby and take pictures. I'm doing everything but sitting at that head table, right? So finally my stomach kicked in. I'm hungry. So I go ahead and sit down. And I sit down and the man hands started shaking, y'all. Girl, I didn't know what was going on. Now y'all know how I am. First of all, I'm engaged and my family does not know I'm engaged because we have not done we have not done our formal engagement announcement. Like that's a whole production that we're currently working on. We delayed because he lost his grandmom. Okay, we're not gonna do that. But anyway, so it's kind of sort of a secret because some relatives know, some relatives don't, right? And the whole time I have been hiding my engagement ring, right? But anyway, I'm sitting across from this man and he is shaking, honey. And now he done started sweating again. And I am downright perplexed about what am I doing? what am I saying? What did I do for you to respond this way? Right. And it frustrates me because men do behave this way in front of me. And honest to goodness, I don't understand it. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's happening to you. It looked like you were about to hyperventilate. I don't, sir, relax, relax, sir. And honey, it was in that instance when I am looking down at this man trying to because we did like they put all the food on the table at the head table, and then we were like, passing dishes around and stuff, to put on our plate. And I'm looking down, and honey, he had that dish of them darn green beans, and that man hands were shaking like he was about to have a seizure. My God, and Zion, I said, "What in the world?" And it's in that instant when I looked down at that man shaking hands that I realized that my uncle and my aunt were trying to set me up. Girl, I hadn't caught on before because when church services were over, I just sat there. My feet were hurting. I was tired. I didn't get much sleep the night before. And I kept noticing I'm sitting there texting people back, responding to text messages that came through while service was going. And people, first lady, hey, first lady, God bless you, first lady. And I'm like, who, what? And at first, I said, "No, my aunt, she gone back there. She'll be back." You know, honey, you don't understand. Baby, you don't understand. And then I'm like, "Oh my God, why do these people keep saying first lady? I'm not that man wife. What is wrong with you people?" Anyway, so I didn't think nothing of it. Deductive reason, I was like, well, I was on the front row. Yeah, I was. There wasn't a man sitting next to me. So, yeah, they must have just, church folks, child. They be putting stuff together without context, right? Church rules, first lady gonna be up there in the front, sitting on the side where, her man sitting or whatever. Honey, when I was sitting at that table, I said, these jokers, these old people, they're trying to be matchmakers because the pastor, he is single. He is a single pastor, never been married or anything like that, or nothing. So eventually, I decided to just start talking and just making light banter, right? But kind of directing it to those within our immediate space to just try to calm this man down, you know, get him to calm down. He breaking out in his sweat, his hands shaking. I don't know why men behave this anyway. So finally he calmed down. And so then, I'm walking around. I got to walk around some more. And then he got up and started, kind of walking around and talking to people he knew and everything. And so then he walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my sisters. My two sisters came out to support me and everything." So, I went over there and introduced myself to them. And then he was like, "This is my brother." And, I met his brother and everything. And I told him, "Thank you for coming. XYZ 1, 2, 3." So when I was leaving, the brother walked up to me and he said, "Where are you going so fast? Why you walked off so fast?" And I'm just looking at him crazy, like, "Boy, what is wrong with you?" Now I've dealt with your brother shaking hands, breaking in a sweat, stuttering about to hyperventilate. What is your problem? What do you what, sir? He said, "Well, when are you coming back up here?" And I said, "I'm sorry, but this isn't a line of conversation I feel comfortable having, at this occasion. I just don't." He said, "No, I'm not trying to pick you up. I'm married, but I do know my brother wanted to know, when will you be back?" I said, sir, I'm engaged." So, I went on and started hanging out with some of my cousins in the parking lot. And the next thing you know, guess who started making a beeline, honey? He is walking fast. My uncle. He is making a beeline to that darn parking lot, and I can see it in his face. I am in trouble. So apparently the brother went and told or mentioned, like, oh, I didn't realize she was engaged. Or so that let me know they were all in on it. All of them. Right. Like, honey, are you crazy? Anyway, why didn't you tell nobody? You engaged? Why didn't you say it? Honey, I got in trouble. That's all you need to know, baby. Honey, I got my hind parts tore out the frame. Honey, I got in trouble. And so now the cousins are like, "Oh my god!" Like, girl, it's a whole mess. And now I'm mad at myself because I'm like, I should have, I should have demanded and protested and told Jeremy to come. He didn't come because he had to work, and I was like, "Okay, don't worry about it. I'll see you when I get back. Whatever." I should have I should have dug my heels in about it, and I didn't because we both it just we're constantly individually coming and going, and then together we're constantly coming and going. So I'm like, okay, I see you when to get back. But anyway, honey, my uncle tried to fix me up on a blind date. Can y'all believe that mess? Are you serious? Honey, I didn't cut up because, of course, that's my uncle. I didn't cut up. I didn't cut up. I didn't say anything. But, honey, I was mad. Honey, I was high as fish grease because I'm like, what is wrong with you? Do you not think I know how to find, or I can't meet men? Or, like, did you, like, come on. I am not desperate, hun. Like, come on, Unc. Like, why you do me like that? Like, I'm some kind of Broomhilda or Petunia or something. Like, and then I think it's funny because he like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get her a pastor. Honey, can you believe that? I've just done videos about these pastors and first ladies, and here's my relative trying to set me up with a pastor, baby. I thought it was so funny. I didn't think it was funny at that moment because it turned all the way left. And the look on his face, like, oh my God, I'm talking to somebody engaged. Like he was embarrassed. Like I'm sending subliminals like I'm clearly. And I have sent my brother to kind of feel the situation out. And this lady got a whole fiance. Like, oh my God. Honey, I just went ahead and just, sashayed myself out there to the car. I went in the trunk. I got my purse. I reached down in my purse. I got my ring out and I put it back on. And as usual, in our family, I guess we have some kind of diamond inspectors or something. Everybody, let's see the ring. Let's see it. It was just crazy. But the funny part for me is that old people are slick. They are them jokers are slick. Them jokers, they are slick. I guess he said for my birthday, I'm gonna get her a husband. I'm gonna get her blessed with a man. I'm gonna get her blessed with a man of God. And I mean, he has to be legit if he made it past the family. That's the God honest truth. Now, I can't say that about how we are very strict people. We are very disciplined people. We don't play the radio with nobody. We just don't, especially when it comes to marriage. We don't play no games at all. We don't play about it. So for him to get past, my uncle, and if he already had someone in mind, he has already talked to the elders about him already. So he's passed the preliminary vetting process of them even talking about him before they even decided to try this mess right here. But darn, I mean, this kind of stuff you do for ugly women. Like, come on, man. Like, don't do me like that. Honey, I am not ugly, dear. Honey, oh my God, honey. I thought y'all would get a kick out of that, honey, because my family has never done this to me. Do you understand? Like, they have never done anything like this before. If anything, they have ran men off, but they have never, behind my back, set me up on a blind date. Like, really? And I'm starting to believe now that I'm talking about it, I think he was in on it too. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's jokers. Oh, really? Oh my God. I think my uncle told him, I have a niece and she's on the way. Oh my God. No wonder he couldn't keep himself together. My God and Zion, Lord, thank you for the hedge of protection known as Jeremy. My God, because even if Jeremy was, wasn't Jeremy and I wasn't in a relationship, he's not my type. I mean, as far as I would never date a guy sending his brother to ask me when I'm coming back in town. I don't like that. Like, I like very dominant, very strong personalities men. Like, I like a guy's guy. Like, that's always been my thing. So I don't like timid men at all. Like, that doesn't fly for me, right? So you know, he had already struck out, not with his hands shaking, not with him about to hyperventilate, but he messed up when he sending his brother to ask me, "Hey, when are you coming back in town?" Like, no, that messed him all the way up. That's permanent, guaranteed friend zone. Like, immediately, like that just doesn't work for me at all. Uh-uh. What you mean sending your brother like you some kid or something to come talk to me? Like, what? And y'all know how I am. I be running for dudes. Like, I don't be knowing what to do, what to say. Honey, I move fast. Honey, them little legs be going, them little heels be clacking. I'm up out of there before you even get a chance. I already see the energy you coming with. I already see how you looking at me. Let me go ahead and move through. So I mean I mean, like I said, you guys are familiar with, just how I get like, oh no, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So anyway, but honey, can you believe them jokers? Has your family ever tried to set you up at our big age? At our big age, girl. Are you serious? Honey, if one of y'all want to meet him, let me know. Because he is single. He is single. He has a very successful ministry in Memphis, Tennessee. He's a clean cut, nice looking brother. He isn't obese. He's in shape. He look good now. I gotta give it to him. Now he is a nice looking brother. Now I'm engaged, but I'm not blind. He is a nice looking brother. He is like straight up. He's nice looking. But um yeah, if if you want me to, sis, if you want to, let me know. I'll go ahead and handle business, honey, at your request. I'm not gonna pull what my people did to me. I'm not gonna do it behind your back. Like, you don't know how to talk to a man or find a man. I will make it happen at your request, okay? Honey, at our big age, trying to set somebody up, child. They crazy. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.